Hi teachers, in this video we are going to walk through some of the basics for the American Pageant, which North Olmsted is currently using as the AP US History book. This is through NGLSync. NGLSync is a Cengage program. Students and teachers log in through the same exact portal. When you first go to the portal to log in, you want to make sure that it says North Olmsted High School. Once you're logged into the Instructor Portal, on the main page, you'll see a couple of basic things. You'll see the data about your class. If you click more details, you'll be able to see all of the students that are currently enrolled in your class. This general data on this page is something that instructional technology will handle the setup as well as naming your course. You can rename your course if you need to, and if you need the course split into separate periods, that is also an option as well. You have two options here after you look at the more details, is to either launch the Instructor Companion, which will be all of the downloads available for you, or to launch the course and directly go into Mindtap. The Instructor Companion is going to have things like your test bank, your PowerPoint, lecture tools, instructor manuals, and other instructor downloads. Most of the things that you download here, you will need to accept the permissions and then go ahead and download whatever it is you need to download. You may find things that are available in zip files. If you do have a zip file, you'll want to go ahead and download this and then unzip the file on your computer and go ahead and use the files from there. For example, all of these, it would be a PowerPoint lecture, probably for every chapter or section, and then you will be able to navigate those. They do come in PowerPoint. Keep in mind that PowerPoints can be uploaded to Google Drive to be used as Google Slides photo or Google Slides that you can then share with students through Google Classroom. So that is another option for you. If you need to go into a specific chapter and just get the resources for that chapter, you can sort by chapter at the top, and you'll notice that it changes your resources so that it should be giving you the details of what things might apply just to this chapter. So for example, I get book overview. This is the chapter 12 stuff, and then here are my general book resources. We're going to go ahead and close out of that, and we're going to be launching into the Mindtap course and take a look at what it has to offer. Mindtap is the main platform where students will complete all of their work, and the instructor will assign things. They will also be able to read their book through Mindtap. Keep in mind, within the Mindtap portal, the student portal and the teacher portal look very similar, but the teacher has some options to choose what students see and what students are working on. Now that we're in the Mindtap portal, right now I am in a demo class, so I can kind of play around with some of the different options. We're going to spend our time on the left-hand side understanding that, and then we'll go through all of the tools on the right-hand side. Obviously, this is more of a tech tutorial as opposed to a tutorial helping you understand the curriculum itself. So we're going to go over some of the different tech tools. At the top, you have two major views. You can look at the text through the outline view, which is the view we're currently in. You'll see every chapter in the outline view, or you can look at the text in calendar view. Calendar view doesn't really serve a purpose if you are not assigning things with due dates. You'll want to have things assigned first in order to see that. So you'll notice that it breaks the year down by days based on the dates that are given to the system on the back end. It doesn't recognize breaks or things like that. It will just recognize the start and end dates of the weeks. You'll be able to see your activities kind of flushing through here if you so choose. And we're going to head back to that outline view, and you have two toggle switches, which are really important. The first toggle switch is the Show Hidden. Under the Show Hidden, this is where I can see any activities that I have hidden as an instructor, and then I can also uncheck that. So now it is hiding again. This helps me see, students would see everything that I see currently. If I turn on the show hidden, then I'm also going to see the activities I've hidden from students. If I need to add to that hide at any point or modify or edit any of the activities, I would want to turn on the edit switch. So the edit switch allows me to go through and make changes to these activities. I can change the unit completely. I can change the name of the unit. I can get very detailed. I can change where I want this section to fall. I can rearrange things. I can even give them my own description. That's what the pencil will allow you to do. In most cases, you may not need to do this, but if you really custom build your curriculum, you can pretty much rearrange the entire text in whatever way you want to rearrange it. The big area that I would pay major attention to if you are new to this online course is the hide. Hide allows you to hide sections from students. So you'll notice right now I'm seeing pretty much all of the chapters, although I skip. I go from chapter 3 to chapter 22. So I've hidden everything from chapter 4 to chapter 21. I can hide even more. In the beginning of the year, it can be very overwhelming to students if they're seeing 40 chapters of text all showing in their portal. So you can go ahead and hide things. Now you'll notice I've only checked 4 things here, but it says 110 items selected. So this is a hierarchical structure, meaning that everything underneath 37 will also get hidden if I check 37. Now I can uncheck any of these specific things. I can check very specific things. I can pick and choose which things I want to hide. Just keep in mind, if it has that orange check, it is going to be hidden when you make that selection. I can also deselect all of those things and go back to normal. You'll notice here, I can select just 2 items instead of the whole chapter 37, which is why I see the slash. It lets me know that I have a few things hidden, but not the whole section hidden. If I see a check in the 37 box, it's going to let me know that everything in that section has been hidden. Now, once I make that selection down here under batch options, I have the option to hide the selected, edit the dates or times, or edit the settings completely. Editing settings is where I can edit the number of points. I can choose if something's going to be graded or practice. I can require a password, although this doesn't necessarily maybe serve the best purpose if you're trying to use all of this content with students and want it easily accessible, but that part is up to you. Keep in mind, if you're doing the batch editing sections, it probably doesn't make sense to batch edit an entire unit or chapter at once because there's all different kinds of assignments underneath here. If you're doing batch edit and you want to change scores, it may be better to check like all of the tests at once and batch edit all of the tests at once. You may want to look at things specific and edit those just one at a time by clicking the edit button here. That again is completely up to you. If you hide this, then that means that students aren't going to see those activities at the moment, and you'll notice that chapter 37 completely disappeared. Now, it's not gone. It needs to be allowed when we're ready to go through that section. So here's where I'm going to turn on the show hidden, and I'm going to turn back on the edit feature as well. When I do that, I can select all of chapter 37, and I'm going to go to my batch actions, and I'm going to select show selected. If you're new, again, to this curriculum, I would start with just hiding and unhiding things to make it a little bit easier for students to navigate. Once you get the flow of the curriculum, then play around with the dates, think about how many points you want different activities to be, and potentially look at rearranging things or renaming units if you so choose. You also want to think about all of the different activities underneath each chapter. You may not need students to do each of those things. Now, if you're unsure of what students are going to be doing for an activity and you want to take a look at it, you're just going to click the blue hyperlinked name of the activity. So if I click that blue hyperlinked name, I can see Watergate and the unmaking of a president. This is going to take me to the text where I can read through that section of the text. All of the text has the interactive videos embedded within the text. Students also have the option to have things read aloud, which can be very beneficial to students to help them stay focused regardless of their reading ability. Some students tend to acquire that knowledge better if they can hear it read aloud. They also have the opportunity to read it at a little bit louder or a little bit larger of text. They can bookmark things, or you can bookmark things. You have the option to print, and then there's also a help feature if need be. I hit the X just to go back to that main section. I'm going to click on that Check Your Understanding to take a look at what's in that. I can see right now that this is a score of 3, and I can click into it to see the 3 questions asked of students here. I can choose the number of attempts that students will have to work on this, and I can also change the number of points as well. We're going to continue without saving. You can then select to grade the assignment here as well. Again, if you're just starting out, you may just want to start out with having students use this for the online textbook until you get an understanding of the activities and decide which things you want to use with students. We're going to take a look at the right-hand side. Some of these are going to be real easy to understand, and others may not be as pertinent to an instructor getting started with things. So my content is typically where you can upload your own Google Drive content. You actually have the ability to add your own activities, units, and folders directly to this. So you could pretty much build out your entire course right within Mindtap using all of your own content. You can connect to your Google Drive to pull directly from your Google Drive here. You have a section where you can keep all of your notes. Notes would require you to sign into an Evernote account. And then as you are working through the text, you can add notes there. Again, this may not be a good starting place, but something you can come back to. The same thing with the RSS feed. You do have the ability to add customized feeds to your content. The glossary is something that students will also have access to. This can be a great tool to quickly look up things that would be in the back of the book and take a look at all of those terms. Applia. Applia is going to be the section of Mindtap where you can build your own custom test. So think of this like your test making software. You can then assign directly from Applia as well. You have a school or career portfolio. I'm going to skip over that. This full book is going to be very beneficial, especially if you're just starting out with this curriculum. This is your ebook. This is what's going to look just like you would see on an e-reader. You just click the enlarge here. You can choose to go to page. You have the option to view that text a little bit larger. And then on the left-hand side, you've got the table of contents where you can click through things. This would be a very beneficial tool to show students and help them navigate that AP edition text online. Once you get into the actual text, the read speaker will trigger on so that either you or students can have that text read aloud. The study hub can be beneficial for students. You can create a study guide, mark up your activities for studying, and access previous bookmarks if you so choose to use this. If I click to create a study guide, I can create a new custom study guide, select one or more units to sync. it automatically imports selected content to your study guide. So this will help you in building a study guide, make it a little bit easier. You've got the read speaker, which is again that read aloud available for students. You can choose and modify the voice. Obviously, the default is medium with a male voice. You can choose a female voice as well. Taking a look at See Now homework, here's where you have some different options on some different AP essay responses that you can use. You can print them, you can link them. This may provide you other features as well. We're going to skip over the scenario mind app at the moment. We're going to take a look at flashcards. Flashcards to help students learn content. They can go through the different chapters to take a look. This may be beneficial for studying for an AP exam. And then the progress. Progress would be probably the one other section that would be most important as you are starting off as an instructor with this type of course. This is where you're going to be able to view the gradebook and see everything that students have completed. Now you'll notice my roster at the moment shows blank. The reason why it is showing blank is that students haven't actually completed anything in Mindtap in this course. As students start completing work, you will see them showing up on the roster, and you can manage a complete gradebook from here if you are doing all of your activities through Cengage Mindtap. So as a starting place, just to recap, spend some time on your main content page. Start using and playing around with some of the different activities here, showing and hiding what you need to do. And then once you assign things to students and set the points, however it is you need to set them, then view their progress in the progress section of Mindtap. All of these other tools provide lots of beneficial resources for students and teachers, but some of them may be a little bit much to jump into. Once you've taken a look at this and gotten used to this flow, I would also pay attention to the full book, the glossary, and the note cards. If you need to further build assessments, take a look at Applia, and feel free to play around with any of the other tools. If you need additional training, don't hesitate to reach out so we can look at scheduling something to help you get a more in-depth look at this program.